That was the new applause that I happened to run into.
Nice.
I guess there's a few other things. Wait. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. So dynamic.
Only the best sound effects here at Price of Reason Studios. This is Quantum Leap Revisited, a show that we do once a week where we talk about the classic show Quantum Leap that ran between 1989 and 1993. Some say that this is the best Quantum Leap podcast type of show that ever existed. I don't know who that person that said that is. I'm still trying to find somebody I could quote that would say that, but at least in our minds, that's how we feel about this stream. And we're so proud. Nick, is today the 100th episode?
You're muted again.
He's muted, but he's totally excited. There's
Yes.
never been somebody more excited than Nick now. He's so thrilled that it's the 100th episode.
It's true.
Yes, the 100th episode. I was realizing that as I've been in preparation for this, rewatching all of our streams, listening to it while I work, and to refresh me about all these episodes. And I'm like, wait a second. It says that we've got 99 episodes because there's, 98 in the whole show, and then, not 98, 97. Two shows where we filled in.
There were like the greatest moments or something. We did a few that were like the best moments of Quantum Leap or something. It was on a holiday or something where everybody ran away.
We did one that was the best moments and one that was like fun trivia.
Oh, Rhonda Nefero says, you missed your opportunity to do Nick's voice. I don't think I could do. I probably can't do it. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
Well, you might have a chance. For some reason, my mic connection, I might need to get a new cord because it keeps saying it gets disconnected, and then that's why it's muting me.
Yeah.
I see. Professor R2, friend of the channel, co-host of the Night Owl with me, the best podcast thing, stream or whatever about Quantum Leap ever. Yeah, that's he's
true.
Our quote.
Yeah, that's true.
Happy 100. This podcast is older than I am. That's true. Hopefully older than all of us. Even Super Mario Brothers 3.
It's funny. I was listening to a completely unrelated podcast today, and I guess the new show has been added to Netflix. And so he's like, "Oh, I did it," and he's like, "And they're talking about getting Sam back," and he's like, so full of hope. He's only watched one episode of it, but he's so full of hope.
That's hilarious.
Oh, you watched the new Quantum Leap?
No. This is a podcaster that I was listening to. He just discovered that they added it to Netflix, so he watched one episode. He's talking, they're going to bring Sam into it. Like, he's all, like, excited.
Oh, wow. I can't believe it. Sorry, Nick, close your ears. I need to sing this song, and it has a naughty word in it. Everybody in the chat, close your ears. I hope you're all ready. There's going to be like an F word. I'm warning everybody, close your ears. For fuck's sake, yeah, cancel Disney Plus. For some reason, he wants me to sing that.
I wouldn't have sung that for less than $20.
No, he does this all the time. Like I usually see him on Nerd Wars, and I have to sing stuff, I guess.
Okay.
But I did it. Thank you. Thank you for the $2. I wasn't warmed up. Like, I feel like I have a sore throat, so I probably could have done that better, but I did the best I could.
We'll revisit it towards the end of the episode. Maybe you've warmed up after you've done all the voices.
Okay. I'll see what I could do. Anyhow, thanks guys. Sorry for the, bad word. Yeah, they can unmute now. You can unmute. It's okay now. It was 1 second. He wrote meh, not bad. All right, I did my best, man. Sometimes it's hard. Even if you're capable of singing, I do have a bit of a sore throat, but even if you're capable of singing, it kind of helps to get a little warmed up. And
Mhm.
usually I get a super chat from him, and I need to sing something in that moment. I do the best I can. Oh,
Very nice.
all right, I got it all out. Yes. In any case, where were we? So, season 2 of Quantum Leap. Nick, you said that you heard somebody talking about the new Quantum Leap. That show, really a disgrace.
Well, it was just funny because he was excited because it had just been added to Netflix. He was looking forward to getting it. He'd watched one episode. They'd made references to the classic show, and he was just like thrilled about the journey he was about to go on.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I was never thrilled. I watched that first episode and I already understood where it was going. It was ill-advised and such a shame. The only thing I'm thankful for, the one thing I'm thankful for, is that Scott Bakula didn't appear on this show. So many times you have like these kind of older stars that suddenly get an invitation somewhere, and they're so happy to be invited that they don't even notice that they're ruining the show. Look at Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker collected the paychecks. I'm not hating on him for that, and he then, was part of them destroying his character. Same with Harrison Ford. It's happened on a lot of times, like, on a large scale, on a smaller scale. Scott Bakula is one of the only people that read the script and said, "I'll see you later, guys." And that was it. Like, and not only that, he then like said, "Hey, I wish them well. They sent me a script. I read it. This show is really important to me. I did this show with Dean Stockwell. The show is important, what we did. I just didn't want to be a part of it." Like, he said it really nicely, but I understood exactly what he was saying. He read the script, didn't like what he read, and he figured, I don't want any part of this. And I have to give him some props for it.
Yeah, he definitely. I think if they had given him the script he wanted, he would have joined, but they didn't want to use him in a meaningful way. So,
Professor Autu says, you were hoping that the next leap would be the leap without conspicuous pronouns. Yeah, he really dodged a bullet with that one. I think that he did great, and I have more respect for Scott Bakula that he didn't want anything to do with it. In any case, we're going to talk today about season 2 of the classic show, the classic.
Quantum Leap.
Yes, exactly. And let me see if I can. How do I start this tier thing? Make Okay, Quantum Leap. Let's tell some jokes, bro. Create single use.
Okay. Yeah, there's going over this season. It'll be interesting to see how next week it stacks up, because this was a packed season.
Yeah, I'm gonna say double from last season, or season 1.
But I mean, as far as like ones that, because my goal, I dropped my video today, giving my ranking of the first season, and I'm going to be doing that, 1 week behind us through it. But when I'm all done, I want to do my top 22 and make like the perfect season.
Nice.
And I'm like, there's going to be a lot from this season.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now, episode guide online, and there are a lot of good ones in here.
For sure. I'm just trying to pull up something. Give me a second.
And for anyone that caught this show later and want to go back to our discussion on season 2 and beyond, we TiVo'd them for you. So check them out.
Episode guide. Okay, got it.
Tex Roger says Wiki has a great list. I don't know what I'm using. I just plugged in original Quantum Leap season 2 episode guide and something came up.
I see. What's the first one?
The first one is the Honeymoon Express.
Yeah.
Honeymoon Express. Okay.
This is where your guys' frustration with Sam's morals began.
Well, it was a tricky situation because I don't know. He probably could have made better use of his time.
But it's a very fun episode because, you know, they have the ex who is part of like French militia mafia, something like that, who's gonna kill her if out of jealousy. But with all that going on, he still has to deal with the fact that she's affecting the future of the Quantum Leap program. The Quantum Leap program is on trial, and they don't really believe that Sam is leaping through time.
Right.
And this one had a really cool twist at the end when it replaces the judge.
I like that. This was the kind of stuff that they did that I enjoyed. I also thought that this was an interesting episode where they gave Al the opportunity. We didn't know a lot about Al during the first season, but here when he starts and he's in that like official Rear Admiral Navy uniform.
Oh,
we're
he's
like,
testifying, right?
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy's, he may goof around. This is this guy's no bum. And also, you could see a more serious side of Al that he was trying to sort of, he became serious here. He's not playing games. He understands the severity of the situation. He's trying to save the program. Meanwhile, you have Sam, back in time, dealing with whatever he's dealing. And I think that this episode, I enjoyed it personally. I guess I'm going to do as you guys discuss it for a second, I'm going to do a poll.
Okay. Yeah, this was interesting because, one season in and you're no longer, like, I guess you are, but there's a little bit of a side story there back home with Congress.
Yes.
I found that very interesting and kind of cool. Having seen the entire series now, and we kind of stated that in season 5 they kind of developed stories that were a little off the beaten path just to see what would stick. But I'm coming to find out that it does seem like throughout the series they were kind of throwing a couple of things into the mix to kind of stir things up. Maybe not to the extreme of some of the stories in season 5, but looking back, it does seem like they really went to town and worked on creating some very intricate storylines with some great characters, and obviously the actors that they brought in were also a treat.
I 100% agree.
It was also nice to see Al and Sam disagree, but have the friendship. And they seriously disagreed at first because Al was trying to get Sam to do something that wasn't the leap. And Sam didn't know what the reason was for, but he was trying to, motivate to get to change some mission. So it would be a big thing that would be changed, but Sam saw a more personal, thing right there in front of him. And so they were kind of going back and forth, and he didn't get to know what Al was going through on the other side. And finally Al kind of lets him know like what's at stake here. And so those were really good character moments for building their relationship in this episode. But the story itself was fun. So it has all these deep lore for the show, but then it's having this fun story with trying to avoid this murderer, Sam finding the gun, being worried, checking his pocket to make sure he has a badge and the right to have that gun, and then comical as he doesn't really know how to use the gun. He gets the gun taken from him. All that kind of stuff was just fun.
Tex is worried. He says we're not going to finish season 2 at this rate. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to manage to do it.
We're going to do it. There's just this first episode, we're drawing it out because of the technical difficulties of...
Does Price of Reason know he's simulcasting a video stream? I don't understand what you're saying.
Or did you accidentally... No, there's only one source.
Now I'm worried. I don't even know what he's talking about.
I thought he might be talking about the fact that you might be streaming this on your other channels, but you're not. It's only Price of Reason Live.
Yeah, I don't think I'm...
No.
I don't think it's anywhere else.
Right.
There's a video ad on the poll. I didn't even know those were a thing.
Let's see. Okay. Check on Price of Reason on the regular.
Oh, I think that's what he means.
What did
that the video advertising in the bottom right hand corner of the thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I see. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I understand now.
You might be able to X out, but it'll probably come back.
Yeah, I really don't want this. I don't know how I got this crappy thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean. In any case, it wasn't a bad word though. Crap is okay. That's like a legitimate. That's a good word to say.
Right.
I
Plus
love that you
Sean's not
apologize
here.
to Sean's not here. And I don't think Sean has trouble with cursing.
Right. I don't think he cares if I said crap. Yeah. Okay. So back to our thing. Let's see what the poll is. This first one, Tex, it seemed a bit slow, but now we're going to get into the hang.
All right, let's vote.
So end poll, we have 43% say an S, 43% say an A.
Wow, yeah.
But I think that that's a fair, direction. I think that it's a good episode.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Ro?
No, I definitely would give it a, somewhere between the S and the A. I voted A. It was a really good episode. I'm like holding my S's for certain other episodes, but I think A is pretty decent, and I think the chat has the pulse on the panel. So I think for sure.
I'm also somewhere in between A and S. Nick, what do you think about?
I'm S. For me, this is good contender for top 10 of the series overall. So I really like this episode.
So,
but there's a couple in here that I really like. But this, I like this episode.
You know what? I like it too. I may regret this later, but I'm okay with S. So you and I are S. It's kind of a tie in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. What do we do, Ro?
Do what your heart tells you.
You know what? It was on Sean's list of top episodes.
Okay, so let's do S. So it's
now
an S.
If Script gets here and he says, "What's that doing in S?" Put that down to A. Then maybe he could be the tiebreaker.
Okay. Now we have to start moving quickly because Tex is
Yes.
already annoyed, and I don't want to annoy Tex Rogers. Okay. Next we have the Disco Inferno one. I like Disco Inferno.
I don't.
You don't? You don't like Disco
No.
Inferno?
No, I don't like disco.
You don't
But-
really have to like disco in order to.
I know, but I don't. I'm not a fan. We talk about sometimes some of these episodes, they take you to a time period that we really love.
You
Kind
don't
of
love that period.
the period of kind of the fashion he had and the stunt, and there was just stuff about this episode that just didn't do it for me.
That's funny.
But this is where we first learned that his brother died in Vietnam.
That is true. That's an important part of the lore or whatever you want to call it. I personally think this is a good episode. I wouldn't put it in the S tier, but I could see myself possibly, giving it an A, maybe an A or a B, something between an A and B. That is kind of my feeling on it. What do you think about it, Ro?
Yeah, I think a lot of these episodes are going to be like we won't be sure. Like, should I give it an A or a B or an A and an S? This one, I kind of remember liking it a lot because of the production value. He was a stuntman in this one, right?
Yes.
And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh wow, they really did some really cool stuff for this episode." I think I am going to give it. I'm like waffling between an A and a B. I'm going to give it a B, but a high B, if that makes any sense. Yeah, this is a hard one.
So, and I gave it a C.
Wow, tough.
I really don't. I had plot issues with this one. I didn't like that. One, that the dad wouldn't let him go into music, but he was okay with him being in the movie business.
And a stuntman out of all
Felt
that.
kind of weird to me. And then Sam's character is supposed to be the stuntman, but he's being treated on set like he's the lead actor. People are kind of bowing to him like, oh, the movie can't go on without you kind of attitude, and all the girls want to date him. And that just didn't feel to me the authentic.
Well, the chat gave it 49% gave it an A, 38% gave it a B. Sean didn't put it in his favorites. It's not even in his top 10. I think that makes Sean kind of a C. I think I'm sort of an A. Row is a B. The chat is like A and B. I think B is fair.
Yeah, I agree.
I like this episode. For me, I like it. I could have seen myself giving it an A, but I'm okay with B. It's not an S. That I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So next we have the Americanization of Machiko. I think that's her name. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I was close enough.
I think you're good.
And
I really, really liked this episode. It had a lot of really great character moments between the actress who plays Machiko and Sam and Scott. I think it was a really nice, tender story. And, a little social commentary thrown in there, which is always good. And
Yeah,
I'm going to give this one an S.
cool. Yeah. So what do you think, Nick?
I'm also S. This is within my top 3 of this season. I like that the situation they play up for laughs, that Sam doesn't even know there. She leaves her at the airport. You have the situation with this girl that's wanting him when he comes back, and she's telling her, oh, do this, trying to be her friend, telling her to go say, people like it when you tell them they're fat, and some of that stuff. And then her doing the laundry topless, and then the minister shows up and he's like, yes, cultural differences. This is not bad. It was just so many fun situations, a lot of heart in this episode.
Yeah.
And getting to see Catherine Callan, Martha Kent from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, play such a how upset she was and how mean she was, and really though Sam helping her to get over this, and show that even though she had these prejudices, she had these things, she was able to come to terms with it, versus Rusty, who was the World War II vet, who had fought against the Japanese, and Machio is just,
Lisa Katryan says she thinks that's the episode she started actually watching
That's
with
pretty
us.
cool.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For that alone,
Yes.
I already like that episode.
Yes, I made a note of that.
Yeah.
That's when we started trying to pronounce her name.
Oh, right.
We were trying to do her name and
Machiko. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So the chat gave it an A. You guys gave it an S. I would probably give it an A. Sean didn't mention it on his list, so I think that in this case, it would be fair to give it an A. It is a good episode. It is a really, really good episode. And if everybody said it was an S, I wouldn't be upset. I think it's a really good episode, but I accept that, I think that A is a more representative of the general feel of what people had, and I'm okay with it. Next, we have at what price, Gloria? So I'll start a poll for that.
All righty.
I'm just writing Gloria because you guys know what it is.
And is this the first time that he leaps into a woman?
I think it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is in the
So-
corporate world. So we're dealing with him being in like female business suits and dealing with being in heels and that kind of stuff, and getting catcalled and slapped on the bum and all that kind of stuff. It's I like this episode. It's not an S for me, but it's an A for me. They went into the situations, but they didn't go over it, and there was a lot of heart with helping the friend who was, being this boss who was sleeping with ones, and thinking that he was going to leave his wife and she was going to commit suicide. And I thought there was a compelling story, and I really liked the end when Sam gets to start kicking and hitting him, like he thinks it's a woman in front of him and he's getting punched like by a man, and he's being shocked. It was fun.
Hey, just to note, Price, your YouTube poll does not have D in it.
I know, because YouTube doesn't let me have another option. So
Gotcha.
Sorry, guys, if you hate it, I can't really do anything. I guess if you hate it, write in the comments that you want to give it a D. At least we'll see a few people saying it. It's just it's a bit hard.
Well, and we might know on some of these episodes if it's not going to be
right. Yeah. In this one, I think season 2, there was a lot of pretty good episodes here. This one, the chat as of now has given it an A. So we're A with the chat.
That's where I was.
I gave it
Nick was.
I gave it a C. I wasn't too particularly impressed with this episode. And whenever Sam shows up in a dress, it kind of makes me feel weird.
I kind of agree with you, Ro. I understand that, like, on an artistic level, I don't think that this episode is bad necessarily, but I don't love the episodes where he's a woman. Even if there's a good reason for it, they kind of depress me for some reason. I don't hate them, and I think that Scott Bakula is a good actor and he's a good sport. But I won't give it a C, but I would give it a B.
It's interesting because the ones where he's a woman in this season I don't dislike, but there's some later seasons where I feel like it goes a little bit too, when they have him playing a model and stuff like that was too much for me. But this I enjoyed, and we'll get to the other one that
I think B is a fair place to put it. Let me see what Sean did, if I can check out Sean's thing.
This is not going to be on Sean's.
No, this is not on Sean's list, so I'm giving it a B. I think that's a fair place to put it as an average. And then okay, so we have other ones. Let me just add. I will add them now. So we have. What was the next one? Is Peoria next? Which one was it?
Blind Faith.
Blind Faith. Okay, so we have Blind Faith. I have the icon for it. That's the one that he's a blind pianist and he has to stop a murder or something like that.
Right.
Blind Faith.
Go ahead, Nick.
I really hate this episode.
Good, because it wasn't my favorite. I was afraid to say I totally hate it. I don't totally hate it, but it's low on my list.
I don't think it's a season best. It's not a disaster. It's not unwatchable for me, but there's a lot of things in it. I don't remember all the details now, but I know that we had some stuff to nitpick with it.
Well, the big thing I had to nitpick out of all of it was that, okay, he's going to track down a serial killer. He leaps in, not like, I mean, it would be one thing if there were victims before he had leaped in, but he leaps in, and while he's there in the leap, somebody dies. Somebody gets murdered. And it's like, no, you're here to save this person. But it's like, well, what about that person that died, the first day he was there? And
by the way, I'm with you, Ron Donofero. I think that it's something between a B and a C. That's what I would give it. She says Michelle Ferry makes her feel bad seeing the Twin Towers. How's it going, Script?
It's going well. Happy to be here. Sorry for my tardiness, but we did have some issues.
No worries whatsoever.
But I got my shirt on and I'm ready to go. We're on to Blind Faith, so that's a good episode. But I'll let Nick continue on with what he was saying.
Let's try to do some grades because Tex Rogers is worried, and rightfully so. What grade do you give it, Nick?
I give it a D.
Okay, so you give it a D. Ro, what would you give it?
I gave it a C.
Okay, Script, what would you give it?
For Blind Faith, I'm
the piano guy.
Yeah, that's the piano guy one, right?
Yeah, where he's starving a murder and he's blind.
Yeah, I think that would be a B-ish, like a low B, maybe a C plus type, because it's got some cleverness to it, but it also, like to Nick's point, yeah, he leapt in and then a woman dies. I think that's to show the gravity of the situation and just part, like there's no way he knows what these leaps are before they happen. Like that's the other part. So it's a cause, and then Sam's effect has to kind of figure out what's going on here. The revelation is not too bad. It's not exactly obvious, but it's okay. But it's not one of the better ones, but it is like a good one to kind of ease someone into the show fairly enough. It's like, yeah, you could do this. This could be like, second episode you see after the first one. If you like that, this one will kind of show you what like the even line would be. But yeah, I would say, yeah, like a low B, high C.
The chat says C. I'm sort of okay with C. I think Ro is okay with C. I sounded a little more B. Nick wanted a D, and Sean didn't put it on his list of episodes that he likes. I think C is fair.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going with C. Is the next one Jimmy? What's the next one on the list?
Good Morning Peoria.
Okay, I got it. So we got Good Morning Peoria. I have to do a poll. You guys can talk about it for a second. Ro, how did you feel about it?
I kind of like this episode. I think, early on they started to do the whole, crossing paths with celebrities. They continue with that concept in this one. I think it was a fun episode. I liked, maybe it's my broadcast, persona, but I like the radio station, atmosphere and all that good stuff. So, it reminded me of, Wolfman Jack and American Graffiti. It gave me some good feels. And I think, I would bring that up to, for me, I would vote this one a B, solid B.
Script, how did you feel about it?
This is the one with Patricia Richardson in it, if I'm not mistaken. And she kind of made the episode, I would say.
Yeah. And I think I remember talking about that, saying that when we actually hit this episode way back when we did. Yeah, for sure.
So I would give it like, I think it's fair enough to say A, there's good stakes. It's like the radio station's going under. It's about censorship of speech and music. Scott Bakula has a huge blast in this role. You get Chubby in there, doing his thing. Granted, like, yeah, facial wise he looked young, but the rest of them still look pretty good, pretty old for his age. But I liked it because there was a good connection and there was also a good romance in there that worked. It was sold. I would say this is a fair A on my part.
Nick, what do you think about it?
This is my favorite episode of the season.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So this just was so fun. This is one of the few that I've actually gone back and rewatched while we were doing this, just because of how fun it was. I loved the premise. I liked the discussion about censoring and that kind of stuff, and then just the energy throughout this episode. Very much one of my favorite episodes of the whole show.
Well, the chat gave 23% S, 31% A, or 36% A, 43% B. I would have given it a B personally, but I know that Sean put it amongst his more. It's on close to the top of the list, and you liked it a lot, Nick. I think that somewhere between a B and an A. I think that's where it lands. Remind me, Script and Row. What did you guys say?
I said a B or an A.
No, you said, I think we were both
What
on
did
the
I
A
say?
part, bro. Because
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, I
Yeah.
think A is fine. You
Yeah.
know, it's fair enough. I'll go with A for this one. It's funny, we were worried that first one was an S, but the first one, there aren't a million S's. That one really was a good one, the Honeymoon
Mhm.
Express. So next, is it Jimmy or the other one? Which one was
Thou
the
sh-
rabbi?
thou shalt not.
Thou shalt not. Okay, so that one, let me do a poll in the meantime. Ro, tell me what you thought about it.
You know, I'm looking at the IMDb and I kind of don't remember this. And I know I skipped a few, you know, because either
He has a brother that's upset
Yeah.
that his kid died, and then there's problems with the wife, and he thinks the wife wants to be with the rabbi, and some guy wants to sleep with her, and then he says he's writing a book, but he's not writing a book, or
he
some
discovers
nonsense
the
like
Heimlich
that.
maneuver. Yeah, I remember that episode.
This one was one of those episodes that it was very good, but it was very somber. Coming up, I almost wish this happened before Good Morning Peoria, but just because of that, because this family is going through the ringer, loss of a kid, and it's wrecking their marriage, and there was a lot of attention to detail. They had to go through the gas lines and
Cole
stuff
has
like
a
that.
theater text.
And so it's one of those things that it's like I'm sitting at a B or an A. I mean, it's not something I feel like I'd want to rewatch very often, but it's very powerful.
Yeah.
I see. Well, B or an A. Ro, remind me, Ro, what did you say?
I'll go with a B.
Script?
Yeah, it's a B. I mean, it's it's got the nice little story about him trying to save his brother's marriage, and of course taking care of this creepy guy that's been taking advantage of women who are just not getting the attention from their husbands, or recently divorced or recently widowed, all for the sake of a book. Very creepy aspect of it, but still kind of fun to watch. But really, it doesn't hit all the emotional beats that some of the other episodes we've seen prior to do.
In our chat, the poll, it was around a B. Most of the people did B. I think B is fair. I'm okay with B. Again, it's a good episode, but it's not the funnest episode. So what are we gonna do? It's a B.
Yeah.
Still respectable B. Until now, the only one that kind of got like the lower part was the one with the piano player.
Yeah.
Next, we have Jimmy.
I love Jimmy.
This was such a great episode, and I love the fact that they kind of went back to these characters, later on in the series. It's got such heart. It's a great story, and this one's up there for me.
I feel
Likewise.
the same way. I think this is a very memorable. Also, when you have a show, it's a memorable episode. Script. What did you think about it?
Oh no, this is like one of my favorites of the season. Like, this is an S tier episode if we're going to do that order. Scott Bakula plays the role really well. I love the family dynamic. I like the fact that everybody kind of really does care for each other, and it's got a lot of heart. And I also like the fact that this kind of teases to an issue that comes up later, where Sam, while he's inhabiting these bodies or going on these leaps, part of his brain is kind of melding a little bit with the person that he's with. So this gives him, sometimes it gives him advantages, and sometimes it gives him disadvantages. And I love the frustration that Scott was playing in this role when he couldn't do some simple things. He felt like he was being restricted intellectually, and he was very empathetic.
I agree with everything you guys said. Nick, how do you feel about it?
I love this episode. I give it an A, like a high A, but it just it's very enjoyable, and I agree it's memorable, and that's why I think they went back to these characters, again, and then again for the finale. So it's they're definitely a key part of the DNA of the show is this family.
Well, the chat gave it a S. Like 79% of the chat said it was an S. I actually think it's an S. I think Ro and Script gave it an S. It's not that like I think that it would be a disaster if it was an A, Nick, but I think that when you think of a series, you want episodes to be memorable. Almost anybody that's watched Quantum Leap remembers this episode. This is one of those kind of iconic things. It's hard not to give it an S, but I respect your opinion, and at the same time, I'm going to put it in S because what else can I do, Nick?
Right.
Uh,
Give the people what they want.
what's the next one on the list?
So help me God.
So help me God. That is the one where he's in the South.
He's a lawyer
For a black woman who was framed for murder or something.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Am I saying this correctly?
Murdering the son of a powerful Southern political
I only
figure.
say she's black because it's relevant to the plot. It's not that
Right.
it's like it actually is important to that plot.
Yes, it is.
So
this is for me. This is another S tier episode. It's got To Kill a Mockingbird vibes. It's I love using this word. It's poignant.
Poignant. Yes. It is though. It is.
This was a good one. Courtroom dramas are always great, especially when the stakes are high, when the drama is high. The acting is superb. Really great episode. I really like it.
I agree that I think that there's something very unique about this episode. It reminds me of that kind of feeling, a little bit of what we got from The Color of Truth.
Mhm.
It's a bit different, but I thought it was one of those episodes where it does that thing where it makes you think about things, but it does it in a good way, in a really good way that shows don't do today.
Totally. Script, what'd you think?
I enjoyed this episode. Good arguments were made. Nice little mystery we have about it as well. Yeah, the Harper Lee influence was strong in this episode, and it wasn't done to mock or to steal from. It had a little bit more of an homage effect to it. So yeah, I would say this is like a solid A, maybe.
You need to do a poll price.
Yeah, could be.
Oh, I didn't do a poll,
but solid A. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Tex is keeping you on your toes.
I'm sorry, Tex. I apologize.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
What was the name of it?
So help me God. Nick, did you give your thoughts on this one?
Well, was Script done? I'm sorry, I interrupted just because I saw that.
Oh no, I was done. You're good.
Okay. This is another one that I think is a high A for me. This was very powerful. And it was a really nice twist when you see the loyalty that they had to the mom and just all of that. I feel like it was, and it also demonstrated really well how in that time something like the court system just wasn't fair. She couldn't be judged by her peers because her peers weren't allowed to be on a jury. And it was interesting. It was kind of frustrating through the episode that she wouldn't talk, but they gave a good explanation for that. And the twist when you have in the court and you have the mom start speaking up and just like everybody's like, okay, quiet her down. Okay, we're done. Trial's over.
I can't help but feel like later on in that trilogy episode that trial is a little bit. I'm not going to say reminiscent of this one, but there's also a murder. There's also a mother. There's also like a wacky lady. I think a lot of elements. What'd you say?
This one's better than that one.
This one is better for sure. This one, the chat gave it a 77. That 77% of the people say that it's an A, and I think that I like A. Ro, what do you think?
Yeah, I think A is fair for sure.
Remind me again what it's called. I don't know why I keep forgetting it again. Oh, okay. I know what it's called now. So A is okay. Script, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with A. Yeah, A is
Okay.
good.
Nick?
A.
Okay, I like A too. The chat, everybody likes A, so I'm putting it in A. So then the next one we have is, what's the next one on the list, Ro?
Catch a falling star.
Catch a falling star. So 1 second, I'm closing a few spare windows here because there's too many of them open.
You need a producer.
I need a producer. I thought you were my producer. Okay. Catch a Falling Star. That's the one where he's Don Quixote, where he meets his piano
Yeah,
teacher and
right.
he enjoys spending quality time with her.
Well, who wouldn't enjoy spending quality time with Janine Turner?
It's one that I think that he actually does he not sleep with her, or am I mistaken?
I thought you were going to say sing.
No,
My
he
mind
sings
went
also,
there.
but I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember if he also sleeps with his teacher, or now am I?
I think he does, and he talks about how magical it was, and Al remarks. I think this is the first time Al kind of protests at the idea.
Oh, Tex Rogers says it's implied but never stated, so it's kind of left in the air, I guess.
Yeah.
It's implied that they do. I like this episode. You could tell that Scott Bakula is having a lot of fun doing this, and this is sort of in his wheelhouse. So for that alone, I kind of enjoy it. I don't think I would give it an S tier, but it would be something I could see myself giving it somewhere between an A and a B, somewhere like in that region. Could see myself. Ro, what do you give it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a B. And you know this episode really is the one where Scott Bakula really lets loose, because he does his singing and his dancing, and you can really tell how versatile of an actor he was.
What's it called? This one, remind me.
Catch a Falling Star.
Catch a Falling Star. Yeah, I have to do a poll. I know. Sorry, I'm doing it now.
I like this episode for a couple of different things, but I wasn't like super impressed. It was like, to me, it was like a low B, maybe a C, because that one episode in the C column looks a little lonely.
I think that, like I said, somewhere between B and an A. You said C. Script, what do you think?
I think this one's kind of a B. It's a fun performance. It really is like a fun episode. They put on a stage play for the audience. And we got to see some really great acting skills from Scott Bakula outside of him just playing Sam Beckett. He's also, playing the lead in this play of, Don Quixote. So yeah, I think it's a charming episode, and it's definitely at very least a B.
Very least a B. I kind of agree with you. I actually, it's something around a B for me. A B, somewhere between a B and an A. A B, I could work with a B. Nick, what do you think about it?
I'm also in the B column, which is funny that everyone else is giving it a B, because when we watched this, when I was listening back to us, I felt like I was the only naysayer. Everybody else was loving on this episode. I'm not a theater guy, so it wasn't. I do feel like this is Scott Bakula's favorite episode in a way. He had a lot of fun with this, but for me, the stuff with the teacher he had a crush on, I found it a little hokey, especially since he was like, I'm not going to leap. I'm going to stay here. But, it had fun. It was not a bad story. It didn't upset me in any way to make me want to put it in C or D. It was competent in all that way. But I can understand why some people might put this in S, because they really like the premise. But for me, it's
the chat gave it an A. I was somewhere between A and B. Ro gave it a C. You gave it, I guess, a B. Script, what did you give it? Remind me.
Also a B. Yeah.
The chat gave it an A. Sean actually gave it as one of his favorite episodes, from what I can tell.
Oh, wow.
So
Yep.
We're somewhere. It's hard for me. I guess we're somewhere between a B and an A. We're not in an S for sure, and we're not in a C. I'm just trying to figure out if we're a B or an A. The chat, what did they say? The 53% wanted it an A. It's a tough one for me. I don't know what to do. It's kind of borderline. It's A or B.
I think you should subvert their expectations and put it in a B.
All right. I guess I can give it a B. I liked it. I like this episode. It's not as good as like Honeymoon Express and Jimmy, but I still think it's a good episode.
Oh crap!
I could have
put
seen
it in A. Put it in A. Tex is mad.
Tex is mad. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
It goes,
For you,
yeah, I think A can be fair.
Yeah, that's
Listening back, I am surprised that you guys were so low on this because, like I said, I've listened to all of our podcasts on this season this week, and I felt like the outcast not loving on this episode because everybody was just overly praising
It's a
this
fun episode. It's so fun. I don't know. I like the episode. I remember it and I enjoyed it, but it's okay. It's also kind of memorable. It's an episode that I remember. It's not as important as Jimmy or even Honeymoon Express, but I do remember the episode. But okay. Next, which one do we have? Is that Troyan or
Yes.
Fran?
Yep.
Portrait of Troyan. So that one, for example, Sean actually gave it like amongst his episodes that he does like. I had mixed feelings about this one.
So now Sean says that, but listening back to him, he was so excited for this episode. And then when we did our review of it, he said he was so disappointed.
Oh, maybe you didn't remember then.
Because he
I think
remembered
he,
it fondly. Yeah, but there was a lot of things that we really picked this one apart.
There were things that weren't well explained. There was something about the bodies, that came up at the end, and I feel like there were a few moments that we talked about, and I remember Script also agreeing with us that they could have put a few things into the screenplay that really would have explained a few details, but they just didn't, or we thought that they filmed something and deleted it, or something went wrong, because there's a few things that just aren't well explained enough, almost as though there's like scenes missing. And that's why this episode for me is kind of
And it had the maid that disappeared.
I was okay with the spooky idea with the maid disappearing. There's just something about the laying of the groundwork to that. I don't remember because I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember that something didn't add up within that episode. Ro, what did you think about it? What kind of grade would you give it?
I have a feeling that I missed this episode during the original stream because I don't remember any of it, and I'm looking at pictures of it, and I don't remember it at all.
Oh no!
Yes, you did it.
Well, now you have an episode you could go watch. Now you can write that down and go watch the episode. Script, what did you think about it?
This one I would say, yeah, I was missing some stuff, so it'd probably be a C for me.
I could see myself giving it a C as well. Nick, what did you think about it?
C.
C.
Yeah, I could even go D. But the motives didn't make sense. It was kind of silly that she's grown up her whole life afraid of this lake because so many family members have died and drowned in this lake, or not her whole life, but she's had to deal with this curse and she never learned how to swim.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on everything you said.
And then there was the person who was the murderer. His motives didn't seem clear. And then there was this weird maid, and then she disappeared. And was she?
It had potential. It had potential to be like 5 times better than it was. But on potential, I can't give the grade. I would go with a C. And I think the chat. Some people gave it a B, some C. Sean initially didn't like it. I think he got confused with another episode when he did his list because I didn't think. You're right. I don't think he liked this one. I'm going to give it a C in this case. I think it's fair that it gets a C. Next, we have the Animal Frat one. I'll do a poll.
This was the Bad Porkies episode.
Yes. But I remember rather enjoying it. I don't know if it was my favorite one, but I thought that I at least liked it somewhat.
Well, this starts to get into the idea that Sam's older brother died in Vietnam, I think, right? Like this is where it's mentioned
so.
It's part of the protests and the bombing and yeah, it's a lot of
Oh yeah.
We already had one other episode of this. None of us like this. Sean missed this episode. This is one of Sean's favorite episodes, and he was so mad that he didn't make it to defend it. So he said to give extra points to this one from him. I
Okay.
give it a D.
You give it a D. People
Yeah.
gave it a C here in the chat. Like, oh, they're not done voting, but it's heading more like there's a fight between B and C. C is winning. It looks like that's it. It's let's see what it is. It is it won with C.
Yeah, Sean's exact words. I liked Animal Frat extra because everyone else hated it.
I think that based on the chat, based on Sean giving extra points, you gave it a D. So you and Sean, I would say, kind of cancel each other out. I give it a C. Ro, what do you give it?
I give it a D because it bothers me that 30-year-old actors are portrayed as college kids.
That's fair enough. Script,
It's
what do you
CW
think?
Yeah, I would give this one like a C or D. I mean, I liked some of the reveals and Scott Bakula trying to appeal to the girl to not be part of the extreme aspects of the protests, but it's funness. It comes at the expense of the serious nature of it, so it doesn't really feel like a well balanced episode.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Hold on, something strange is happening to my screen.
Oh yeah,
Are you still there?
we're
Yeah.
still there, but
We're
the screen is gone.
Am I gone? Can you see me or am I gone?
We
No,
can
you're
see
good.
you. It's just a green screen in the center.
Yeah, we're
What are
filming. We're filming The Matrix now.
No, tell me honestly, what do we see now? Because my thing is like I have
It's a green
just green.
screen.
Yeah, it's just a green screen where you're projecting the image. It's just green. Everything else, the background is good. Quantum Leap Revisit is good. All our squares are good. There's just a green rectangle in the middle of the screen now.
F5, refresh.
I'm trying.
I mean, we can continue to rank and hopefully
Yeah,
fix it.
continue talking for a second and let me see what I can do because I may disappear.
So our next one is Another Mother, and this one, unlike Three Hitmen and a Baby, knows how to play all the Mr. Mom tropes.
Yep.
Shout out to Script Doctor's episode this past week with Price. I loved that episode because Price kept apologizing like it was some beloved script. For script. It's like, I don't think he likes it either. But but it had that, and I think we got, there's a few things, like even when I don't like an episode, which I do like this episode, but we made fun and got a lot of mileage out of last season. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Right.
One coming up, do the triple. We were using that a couple episodes afterwards still. This van in this episode.
God, that's right. The van.
with the like guys in it that were like just going around like,
Right.
gonna get me some kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dirty windshields and
It was so comical.
yeah.
So it was like, on the one hand, you had this story and the mom's trying to help this young boy out, or well, Sam, he's playing and then they had we're establishing the rule that the little girl can see him.
Yeah,
see Al.
Ron is mentioning that in the chat, or a couple
And
people.
so this set a lot of rules for the show. He's leaping into a woman, but instead of dealing with sexism and all that, this is dealing with another huge aspect of femininity, being a mom, having to do the home life. And I feel like it was really good in that respect. For me, it's an A. I understand why the chat's probably going to give it a B, or everybody else, but I like this episode. It's a low A, but I like this episode. But the van's comical, and we got a lot of mileage joking about that van.
Yeah, I remember the van pretty vividly.
Okay.
The little kid was a sweetheart in that episode.
So
too.
the Animal Frat
Yeah.
one, what did we give the Animal Frat one?
That's a C, right? Or
Yeah,
C?
C.
Yeah.
Okay, Animal Frat is C.
And you need to do a poll for the one we're on now.
Okay, I need to do a poll. Just for that
Another
van
number.
alone, I give this a good grade.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to our panel, that was one of the ones that we had the most laughs.
Right. Yeah.
There's so
Stranger Danger Van.
right.
And
Which one was
then
that
him
called?
beating them up
Another
was
mother or
hilarious.
something.
Like him dressed like a suburban mom.
Yeah.
Remember,
Just like
they rip her
doing
shirt open,
roundhouse
so they're
kicks.
seeing
They're
some
seeing stuff.
they're seeing
Right, they were seeing
some fun
some
bags there,
stuff, yeah.
to use
Yeah,
the
it's
80s
like-
term.
we were also joking about like what kind of they're going after teenage boys, not little kids. He's already like, usually that's the age that they throw them back, not pick them up.
Some people have some really messed up vices.
But then like they see her and it's like, oh, we're gonna, and I'm like, well, I thought you were into little boys. It's like they're like equal opportunists, kidnappers. It's just
It's very absurd, yes.
the van stuff. It was just so much fun, and it was so much fun to listen back to our discussion of it.
I feel like that was the episode that our stream started really finding a flow between us and the audience and the chat. Everything sort of worked in this stream. Forget about the episode. The stream was working, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it was funny if you didn't already know what the episode was going to be about, how these kids were we knew he was going to go missing, but we didn't know why. And they just kept going to shots of that van.
Yeah.
Like that
hilarious.
wasn't happening yet. They were dealing with the mom issues and Sam trying to help this teenage boy with his emotions and his girl problems and all that kind of stuff. And so it was funny to have all that going on, and then it just cut to that van going around the block, looking at him.
And I thought I remembered that this was Sam's first roundhouse kick, but Lisa has confirmed that. So yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he got to be a female Walker Texas Ranger in this.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
So what did I'm trying to find this poll. The poll people gave this one an A.
Oh.
And I liked it. I like this episode. I like it because of that stream that I enjoyed so much, like hanging out with you guys. But now when I think about that episode, it has something like a positive association.
Sure.
So if the stream gave it, the chat gave it what was it that they gave it?
An A.
An A?
So like I came out and said, I think I would give it an A-, but I understand why the chat would give it a B. But if the chat wants to give it an A,
Did I do
but
a poll
really
for?
think that our discussion is skewing.
I can't seem to find it. It like disappeared from the
Or
chat.
it's another mother, right?
Yeah. 15.
Another
Yeah.
mother got a
A.
what did it get?
A.
A? Okay.
54A, 31B, 15S.
I'm going with A. You know what? I'm going to go
Yeah.
with A. Ro, what do you have?
Yeah. Let's do A just for the van.
You just for the van. Script, what do you have?
Oh, I agree. A.
A. Okay. What do you have?
I'm A-.
A
So,
minus.
I was A.
Okay. I think it's safe to say that this one can get an A. Next we have All Americans. That's the one where he is a Latino football player and there's a coach. No, there's a local guy that's doing bad things and he wants him to throw the game or something.
Right.
Yeah, he's a gambler. He's trying to get frisky with his best friend's
Mother, and he's like tells her to go like iron his shirts or something. I don't know now. It's all a blur, but I remember not disliking the episode. I remember there was one funny thing that they put up a sign that they wrote incorrectly. They were trying to write words in Spanish, but I guess they were in such a rush that they didn't write it correctly. And I don't remember why we had to. I think Ro noticed this.
Possessive.
What'd you say?
With the the tacos with the apostrophes. So like the tacos own us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, there was something with the
Possessive
tacos.
The landlord guy in this, because that's what he is. He's a landlord, so he's trying to get him to fix the thing, and he is just slick and sleazy in this one so much. He's like, well, if you don't throw the game, I'm gonna have to take it out of from your mom. She's gonna have to pay up in another way.
Right.
And he's showing up at the high school, and the coach is like, what are you doing here? And I like this. We also joked a bunch. Ro was joking about finally he's represented, and then they were talking about what story do we want to do about a Latin American? Oh, they like football, and then they got the wrong football.
Right.
Well, they got to make it American football, right?
Right. So I guess just bottom line, let's look at the poll. What are people saying?
First of all, let's create a poll.
I didn't create a poll. That's a good one. What is
we
it?
did so
All
well last
Americans?
week.
What's it called?
All American.
All Americans. So I guess start rounding up between you. Ro, what's your grade?
This is a hard one for me. C or a B, but maybe probably I'll lean towards the B. It was kind of a cliche story. Mustache twirling bad guy in the shadows sort of thing.
That's true.
So I think I'm gonna decide and give it a C.
But you really like the mom in this one, Ro.
Yes, true. I'm a Virgo. What can I say?
I give this a B.
Nick, what do you give it?
I liked it. I gave it a B. It wasn't anything. It was a high B for me. Wasn't something that was super standoutish. I feel like it showed a little bit of the Latin culture, but with like the family gatherings and stuff like that. But seeing as we don't get a whole lot of that in this show, was a little disappointing on that part. But I liked the overall story out of it, but it wasn't one that like jumped out and stood out at me.
I see. Okay. So script, did you give a grade?
Did I? I think I gave this one like a B, right? This is a B, mostly for
the chat. 79% of the chat gave it a B. I'm trying to see what Sean did. Sean said that this, I don't see this up here on Sean's list. Not that I don't know what that means. The chat gave it a B. I would give it a B. I think Ro was sort of in script where a B. I think Nick was as well. B sounds good to me.
I was a high B. It seems like a lot of people are low B. But and for Sean, just so ones know, he's on the road, and so he could only say the ones that he could remember and say, hey, these are my favorites out of this. So
next we have
Matthew.
We have Her Charm next with Terry Austin, who was nice enough. Tell me it's not crashing again. Okay, no, it's not. I think it's fine. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so basically, that was the one where Terry Austin from that episode was here on this stream, as surreal as that is, and she came here, and it was such a great experience that I can't help not be fond. Even I like the episode to begin with, but having her here kind of adds to the fond memories.
Yeah, for sure.
This is an A or an S for me. Like this is that kind of tier of an episode. It was a good episode to begin with, but what'd you say?
This is the episode where they're on the boat, right?
No.
That's the Sea Bride, which I also liked,
this
and
is
also
this
Beverly
is the one
was here, where he's like an FBI agent. He's an FBI agent. He's supposed to guard her, but he's actually the mole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So this is where we learned about Dr. Negoro, right?
Right, that he's like, it's me. It's like Dr. Samuel, and then he leaps.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny.
Yeah, so it did give a little bit to their. This is a low A for me. it was a little bit frustrating, but then, they grew in their relationship as it went on. But like, it starts out with her like really frustrated because he's fumbling with the keys. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then they're in the car and it starts getting shot out. And, but kind of like the adding there at the end of that stuff and the chasing the woods, and especially her coming on and giving us some extra details about how, they got sick because they were having to work in the rain.
Just her alone and her coming here, like, I already feel good about this episode. I'm giving this an A. I like her. She was awesome. She came and hung out with us. And I think of this episode now, and I have similar to the van. I have a good feeling thinking about it. I like the episode anyways. I thought it was a memorable one and one of the season's better ones, but I really liked having her here. I would easily give this an A myself.
I agree. A. It was a fun episode. I liked the story. It was exciting at times, getting chased, a shootout. I remember talking to her about the when we had her on. It was
so amazing.
Talking about giving us some stories and the broken windshield when they were doing the shootout and the car chase. So that was a lot of fun. It was a good episode, and definitely give it an A.
All right, well, that's fair enough. And the chat, 77% of the people have given it an A. So
Beautiful.
I think that 77% gave it an A. Ro gave it an A. I gave it an A. Nick is sort of okay with an A.
Yep.
Sean put amongst his favorites, so we have that. And Script, I think he had to step away, but I
just got back. Sorry.
I sense that he's an A as well.
Yes, this is a fun episode. There's nothing better than watching two characters that don't get along.
Right.
And almost same problem. It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, I like it. It's an A for me. And then the next one, what do we have? What's the next one, Ro?
Freedom.
Freedom was the one with the Indian. Sorry, a Native American. What am I supposed to say?
Indigenous, technically.
Indigenous to something. Sorry, guys.
They're the Redskins because they beat the Cowboys.
Throughout my life, they've changed what's acceptable to say a number of times. I always liked the original thing that people said, but then they said something else, and then again they said something else, and I tried to.
I was actually working on a reservation earlier today.
I do not prefer this one. I don't prefer this episode myself. I'm actually going to be. This is one that I'm going to do A, B, C, and D because I don't think anybody has it in their S. If you have it in your S, write S in the chat. But otherwise, I think I'm giving people the option here to have a D.
So for me, this fundamentally has some things that I do not like. Him being there at the end instead of the family member, that was something we really got hung up talking about.
Yeah,
but
that bothered me.
The thing that saves it from being a D for me is just how funny he is. And he's such a great, he plays, this from Walker, Texas, it doesn't matter. Any old movie, TV show from this period, he must have been calling up every agent going, do you need an old Indian guy?
He was good. I'll give you that. He was good. And if there's one thing that I think was good about this stream is that it was one of the first ones that for some reason I was sitting around doing voices, which I think I hadn't really done prior. I don't know why I started to do voices. It had nothing to do with the stream. And then somehow that became a thing that would later come up here and there. So.
And yeah, it was funny you doing that, and then this is also where like the yo came in.
So, that's right.
Which was nothing like you made like you would do funny accents and all that, and then
you'd end it with yo.
Right. But you know what? It's like I said with the van. This is an episode that I felt that as a stream, we were having fun, and that's what was important. Also in the chat, this was a follow-up also to that episode with Terry Austin, also with the one with the van prior. I feel like these were episodes where this whole stream started becoming like a cool hangout. Also with people in the chat, also you guys here on the panel. So I like that aspect of it, but I'll be honest, it's not my favorite episode. I could go with like a C or a low B or high C or C, something like that.
The fact
Yeah.
that we spent a good amount of time debating whether or not the cop would be that fat in that year. And actually going online and looking up when did people start getting, like, that's what we were talking about during this episode, because we didn't have stuff to talk about.
He was a fat cop, man.
and as a fat guy, there was one thing that we were like, why does he have to pee so? And
The chat
I
here
will
gets an
say,
S. I agree with you.
as a fat guy, it pushes on your bladder and it can make you have to go more. So that was believable, but him being that fat in that year and being an officer was a little over dramatized.
Well, the chat gave it a C. I think that we're all pretty okay with C.
Yeah.
Overwhelming C.
Yeah, it was an overwhelming C, and I can understand why.
Let's be honest, that D is probably going to be reserved for stuff like the Harvey Oswald stuff.
Right. I agree. So the next one we have is Good Night, Dear Heart, which was, first of all, for me, an episode that I've always really liked, and that's actually why we got Christopher T. Welch, who was kind enough, the director, to sit with us and do that stream, which was also very insightful. I like the stream that we did, but even before that, I like the episode. For me, it may not be for everybody. Just growing up as a kid, I would possibly put this in S tier because I really like this episode. But I could accept an A. I mean, I could accept whatever everybody wants. But I'm saying, like, for me, this is A to S. That's like the direction of how I feel about this episode.
Poll,
I'll put
please.
up a poll and you guys can talk a few minutes.
Yeah, I didn't think this episode was bad at all. I probably would give it a solid A. It was I liked it.
I need a bit
script.
more. I need to get my memory jogged on this episode. What was the premise for
So
Sam's adventure?
he's a mortician.
A coroner.
And
Oh, right.
yeah,
So this is the
blonde one, the blonde
missing
girl
woman.
that she like he found her body and he's trying to find out who killed her. And
Yeah.
at the end,
Yeah,
it was the lady
she-
from Desperate Housewives
Right.
who was in a LG relationship with her.
Yeah, because she had home videos of her. Like they had home films, and that's what he was watching. Because he's the mortician who had to pretend to be the medical examiner while they're waiting for the guy to come into town, right? And then, that was a pretty good episode because that was a really engaging mystery. It
Mm-hmm.
was really well shot. I think they had one of the better mirror image shots too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
and they brought back the whodunit trope from the Seymour episode of Al. I'm 90% sure it's this person, and then like 5 seconds later, no, it's definitely this person. And so that was fun. I for me, it's an A. It's not an S, but I enjoy it.
Let's see what the chat says. The chat gives it 75% A. I guess Ro and Script. What did you give it?
Yeah, this is an A.
Yeah, I agree with Price with Script.
All right, I can work with A. And it also is on Sean's list. I think A is a fair deal, so it gets an A. And now, what's the next one we have?
Pool Hall Blues,
That
which
one, I think,
takes place on my birthday, September
Right.
4th, 1954, which is not my birthday, but
Okay, so let me quickly put up a poll. Start a poll. Did I end the other poll?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
did the other poll.
Yeah.
You're good.
So this one has, the pool hall is owned by Al's childhood mentor, and I really love this one. My only complaint that I had then, and I still have it, is that we didn't have a kid Al. That if they had said it that way, I think that would have been perfect.
I wonder how they would have handled that though. Like I'm thinking like way ahead, like
Mm-hmm.
to like the whole physics thing, like two masses can't occupy the same space sort of thing. Like if they touched, would they That would have been an interesting premise. Like if they touched or accidentally or on purpose, would they get like
I think
weird
Al
little
would have never been
flashbacks?
in danger of that because he's not physically there.
Yeah.
But I think it just would have been cool to have Sam seeing him, and it probably they couldn't have fit it in the 45 minutes and keep the impactful episode as good as it was. But it was one of those things, just kind of like we've seen.
Would have been a nice touch.
It would have been nice for him to like walk in the door right before Sam leaped or something. Just like, oh, that's you, or
right.
I don't know, but very, very good episode. Like the atmosphere of all of this. This is a high A for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
High A for you. Ro, was it a high A for you?
Yeah, definitely a high A for me.
Script?
Yeah, this is a high A for me as well because there's so much really cool stuff going on in this episode. I like the stakes. It's his. I think it's the granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah,
and I liked how they used Al's hologram to teach Sam how to play pool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was something that we hadn't seen prior exactly, so it was nice that they made use of that.
Yeah,
and I remember the mirror shots, but I also remember some of the pool hall shots that were very well done as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's see what the chat says. The chat gave it it's fighting A to B. It's like a fight.
And Sean liked this one.
Sean liked this one. What did it end? A. Okay, so it's A, and Sean liked it too. I think A is a good grade for it. I'm okay with A. It was a memorable episode. It was good. It also gave him a little chance to sing. I thought it was pretty good. And had the girl from Coming to America, which I also like her. So that was nice. So what's the next one, Ro?
Leaping
in without a net. Yeah, I have that here.
Yeah.
Christopher T. Welch, the director, came to talk to us about it, which was pretty cool. He also directed. It's the same guy that directed Goodnight, Dear Heart. For me, Goodnight, Dear Heart is the one that I like a bit more.
Yes,
I didn't like it. I didn't like this one as much as that one, but I did enjoy the trapeze one. It was all right.
I was glad I wasn't here for that stream because he was on it,
and you hated it.
I do not like this stream. This is C for me. I just do not want to do the triple.
You don't want to do the what?
The triple.
The triple.
The triple flip.
The triple. It's the circus one. Okay. Granted, one of the most beautiful actors ever is in this episode, but it is.
Do you not remember? It's like every more than that. Like every 3 minutes, she says the triple.
Yeah.
We can do the triple. I want to do the triple. Let me do the triple. It was like throughout the entire episode. I think I super chatted because I couldn't join you guys because I think that was when my car overheated and I was stuck on the side of the road. But I super chatted like, if she says the triple one more time.
Did I set up the trapeze one? I didn't do a poll. Okay. What's it called? Without a net. It doesn't matter. I don't remember the thing. Without a net. I'll just
excuse me.
Yeah, it looks like I wasn't I give this an easy C.
We all talk positive, or well, not me because I wasn't there, but
we had to for the most part because the director was here.
Yeah, he was nice though. He was really cool that he came to even talk to us.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is a B- episode.
It's also not his fault. He did great.
Right.
First of all, Goodnight, Dear Heart. For me, like it's one of the standout episodes of the season. Even though I think like I wanted an S and you wanted an A. This one I don't feel the same way about. But I was really happy that Christopher Welch came to talk to us, and he was awesome. As for the episode, I don't hate it. I would give it like a B.
Yeah, and he gave us a lot of insight into like filming the trapeze stuff and like the difficulty and the actors having to go up there. So, but
You know, the chat gave it a B. Like, and the 53% gave it a B. I gave it a B. I think Roe and Script, maybe Roe gave it a C. I don't know. Script gave
I
it
gave
a
it
B.
a C. I gave it a C.
I gave it a B. Yeah.
I think B is kind of fair. And Nick, what did you give it? This was a D for you. What did you say?
A C.
C.
A C. I'm okay if we put it in B though.
Yeah.
All right. I think
Yeah,
B is
like
fine.
that. We had the director for our stream. It was special in that we had him there, and like I said, I had fun. The next couple episodes, I made jokes with the triple.
All right. Well, what's the next one? What's the next one on our list?
Maybe,
Ro?
baby.
Maybe Baby is not my favorite episode. I'm not going to lie to you, but let me do a poll.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? If there was going to be one this season that I'd put in D, it would be this episode.
Yeah, I'm going to give the people the option to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's putting Maybe Baby in S. It's
Right.
objectively like if somebody wants an S, you could put a S in the chat, but I don't think that
It
this is
was
going to be a thing.
Sam endangering a baby through most of the episode.
Is this the one where the episode starts? They were coming out of a bedroom window down the
Yes.
stairs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
this
don't-
is the
You have a
Raising
basket with a
Arizona
bit.
parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kidnapping a baby who's already been kidnapped. Is basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
And there's a point where they go to steal a car seat, and I
Right.
think they steal diapers, but even though he was walking around with the car seat, he sets it down when they go to run away.
And it
so the
really
baby
wasn't
still doesn't have a car seat.
it wasn't a car seat though. I thought it was a basket because car seats in 1963.
Yeah, that seems
It was-
kind of odd.
It was like a
Well, we
bassinet type
talked
of
about it
thing.
a lot. It might have been. It was some kind of car seat because we talked about it. That he was holding it, he picked it up to fasten the baby in, and then he left it.
Oh, it was a white basket like a bassinet. There's a picture of it.
So let me look at the chat. The chat gave it I see that it's sitting around a C with the chat.
The real problem with it was that the one lady was like this pathological liar.
Yeah.
And
I mean, former stripper too.
Right.
and it made it so weird, and Sam was there, and it's like it just felt like Sam needed to take that kid and go off on his own.
The chat gave it a C. Let's round up our thing. I would give it a D. Ro, what would you give it?
I mean, I see that Tracy gave it a D and it's an instant skip for her. I mean, I kind of feel the same way, but I feel like I'm going to give it a C.
Script?
Yeah, I'm probably. I mean, it's got a good ending, but the episode leading up to it was a little bit harsh. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it like a C minus.
Nick?
I'm D.
Well, both of us are D, but the chat is C, and Ro and Script are C. I think it's fair to do C. It could have been a D. It could have been a D. I think that there's episodes within the D range, within the C range, that were better than this. Like the piano one, I thought was better than the baby one, but I'm okay
Yes.
with it. I'm fine with putting it. It's fair enough to put this
If
where
there
it's
was
at.
an E rank, for like the really, really low of the low, then to distinguish this from those other episodes, I would say we'd put it in D. But yeah, this is not as bad as some of the. This is not.
Well, next
I
we
don't
have
find it-
Seabride.
Yeah.
And Seabride, and we have about 10 minutes, and I don't want Tex to, to get worried. So Seabride was the one that Beverly Leach, the actress, was here. I rather enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed her being here. That added to that whole situation. I would. What do you guys give it, Ro? What do you think?
I'm trying to remember it. I'm looking through some of the pictures.
So this is the one with Martok in it for Star Trek fans. So that's Jay. Oh gosh, how do I say his last name? I can't remember. But no, this is
James Harper.
What's that?
James Harper.
If he played Martok, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. he really hammed it up, but he did so in such a fun way. I liked how the little sister was trying to get her big sister and Sam's character together.
I
I like the
remember.
antagonist aspect of it. It's out to see the him being held over in the garbage room
Right.
before being pushed out to the ocean was pretty good stakes. A little ridiculous, but there's a charm to it. I mean, it's not S tier, but it's definitely an A, I would say.
I remember the
high-
sister, the little sister
Yeah.
character. Yeah, she was great.
This had a lot of heart. Of course, I loved, there was so much I loved about this. This is a high A for me. And
So what did the chat give it? The chat gave it an A. I would give it an A. Where does that leave us?
That leaves us at an A overall, I think.
Yeah. I think
Cool.
everybody gave it an A.
We're at an A. And then we have MIA. For me, this is an obvious S. A
Yeah.
highlight of the entire series. Memorable.
Mhm.
But
Nick,
I'll
Nick,
put-
was I in the original stream on this one?
No, you
No.
didn't. You weren't there. It was so
Yeah.
sad that you didn't arrive for MIA. Like we were so.
But I'm pretty
disappointed.
sure
I
you
was
watched
I was MIA.
You were MIA and MIA.
But didn't you go back and watch it though?
You did.
Because
You
we
did
kept
eventually
telling
go.
you to do it. Because this is like the finale goes back to this episode.
This is a fantastic episode.
Oh
in
no,
my
it's
opinion.
it's a great one. It's the only one where Al doesn't change his clothes because he's living inside the chamber watching Beth the entire time, and it's also heartbreaking for him because he's seeing the man that has taken her away from him, causing him to kind of spiral out of control with his heart and never being with another woman again, or sorry, yeah, never having that commitment level again.
And this was one that we at the time we complained. The one thing we had a complaint was that the actual leap wasn't that significant. But I felt like because Al's relationship was the centerfold, that they had to make that sacrifice to fit it in 45 minutes. And we later in other seasons when they tried to when we had the prison break one, and we felt like, wow, you had a really good story, and they were trying to do the evil story, and it didn't fit, and it made it all worse.
Mm-hmm.
It made me realize that this was good, that they did such a basic, simple leap in this. And Sam almost messes up the leap because Al is directing him, trying to that, and in the end, Sam does the thing he needs to do, and then this brings us full closure now with the finale. Sam sacrifices himself to go back and make this right for Al on this leap.
Well, the chat gave 100%. They gave it an S. I give it an S.
Yep, I agree. S.
This one's an S.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is basically like Homecoming prequel.
Yeah. I remember now.
Yeah, it's like a trilogy of episodes, actually. Not the trilogy that's called trilogy, but it had him coming home, and then the Vietnam one. This was like the height of the show, in my opinion. This just so great. In a way, I think that the show never managed to hit such a high note as these 3 episodes. It hit a lot of good moments, but this was the height of everything for me.
I think there's only one episode that ranks above those for me.
We have shout outs. Let me see. So shout outs. Thank you, Mary White. Part 1, Tex Rogers, Julie Evans, Matthew Marcillo, Ron Donofero, Lisa Katryan, Matthew McGee, Marlo Sharondoff, Matthew and Chrissy McGee, Marlo Sharondoff, Kit Kat, Tracy Alexander, Ghost Fixter. And then we have Part 2, Professor R2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Murakstra, Michelle Ferry, Malachi D. Wildman, Graf Webb, DJ Play Nice, Lombardi 1969. We did it. Tex was worried. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. It is the 100th episode. And we're so happy that you're here. because I know for a while you were doing your own thing, but you came back, and I'm happy that you came back for the 100th episode. You've been here for a while now. You've already been back, but happy that you're here with us, and thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We really enjoy doing this. I was talking to Ro before the stream that it's so great that we actually did this, and we're here every week, and we're all hanging out, and I don't know, it's something I look forward to every week. There's a lot of streams, and sometimes I'm on other streams, and sometimes I have other streams, but there's something kind of special about the atmosphere of this one. Just this kind of hangout. It feels like a friendly hangout of sorts, and in a way that we're all fans of a very specific show. That it's not the kind of show that everybody's a fan of, but if you're a fan of the show, you really get it, and it's nice to be a part of this group. Yes, follow Ro at whatever Mary White just said, and obviously Nick as well. And Nick, yes, obviously Nick. By the way, he posted a video where he talks. I put the link in
the chat.
Oh, good.
Under my
he did, and follow Script, of course, as well. So Nick did a thing where he ranked the episodes, and it's cool. You should listen to it.
Yeah.
I also gave some alternative rankings, as I also did. I broke it out by leaps too, so splitting the 2 leaps from the pilot, and how that would change my rankings. So,
it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but we managed to just kind of with a buzzer do it. Is there? If there's anything anybody wants to say before we head out, now's your chance. Ro, Script, Nick, anybody.
This was a great season.
Yeah, it was a great season.
I'm glad that our 100th episode was covering this season, because I mean, next week we're going to cover another, but like it's going to be a hard debate when we get to the end and we're ranking the seasons. Season 2 and season 3 are really up there.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think 2 and 3 are peak Quantum Leap. And I guess on that wonderful positive note, I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank everybody in the panel. Ro, Script, Nick. Thank you guys. And we'll see you guys here next week for the ranking of the 3rd season. And now we can end our stream and play our outro.
Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
I'm such an awesome